Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we have some news updates for you from around the land of smiles today, this Monday, March 24th. Before we begin, remember to subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand, and stick around for a word from our sponsor.
Subscribe. But before you subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, a big shout out to EC Markets, our sponsor for Good Morning Thailand. Now, if you've ever thought about trading, or in Forex, in crypto, in indices, in metals, in crude oils, anything you could think of, you can check out EC Markets. They've been in the market for 10 years, and they're a trusted website. Once again, disclaimer, do be careful. Invest what you are willing to lose. It can be dangerous.
Yeah, invest at your own risk, but EC Markets has the tools to get you started building up your future.
That's right.
All right, now let's get into the stories. Today, we will give a mysterious and tragic update on the German dentist menace in Korat. A British tourist claims of abuse and maltreatment in Thai prison, and a little later, a group of Malaysians facing charges in the U.S. over a massive pump and dump scheme. But first, we're back here in Thailand, where guess what?
Yeah.
More fickle policy over the visa-free stay here in the land of smiles.
Okay.
Now, Thailand has not yet made a decision on reducing its visa-free stay for tourists from 60 to 30 days, reversing what they said last week, despite recent reports. The current policy, introduced in July 2024, allows passport holders from 93 countries to stay up to 60 days, extendable to 90. Authorities are reviewing the policy amid concerns some foreigners may be abusing the extended stay for illegal work. However, most tourists reportedly stay less than 21 days. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is balancing tourism promotion with national security and will submit its findings to a visa policy committee before any cabinet decision is made. What is it? Like, I don't know. It's pretty annoying. Like, 1 week, it's like, all right, no, we're doing it. Next week, no, we're not doing it. I don't know if this is a good thing, right? Like, it's saying that they are responding to the public, because like last week there was a lot of backlash about it. Like, what? Why are you doing it? So now they're like, psych, I guess.
I don't necessarily think it was the backlash from the public, because it only affects the foreigners anyways. Sorry, the tourists coming in. Yeah. They've been delaying the tourist, there was supposed to be a tax for or a tourist fee when tourists come in, and they've delayed that for more than a year now. And this is classic. I mean, I'm no longer surprised anymore. The back and forth is a common thing in Thailand.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why I always say, unless it's out in the Royal Gazette, only then is it official. Until then, it's all speculation. It's brought up for it being passed as a bill. And even when it's passed, it can be unpassed unless it's in the Royal Gazette.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I think it does seem like a little bit of testing the waters a little bit, just to see what the public opinion will be. Yeah, I mean, and who's to say it's not just us? Obviously, it affects the expats or the Farangs the most. But Thai people rely on a lot of that tourist money, so there could have been backlash within the community there too. So, anyways, for now, it seems like it's the 60 days is still on. Yeah. So
I love the way you say Farangs.
Yeah, Farangs. You got your Farang right now.
Oh, nice. Uh-oh. 3, 2, 1. German BMW crash in Phuket narrowly misses motorbike.
Yeah, BMW.
A 24-year-old German man, Moritz Harold Hick, crashed his BMW in Phuket's Rawai area around 3:22 a.m. on March 22nd, narrowly missing a motorbike. The car sped out of a side street, hit the central divider, went airborne, and struck a parked Isuzu D-Max pickup, pushing it into shopfront support poles. His passenger, fellow German Anton, sustained injuries and was taken to Chalong Hospital. The BMW pickup and a nearby shop were damaged. Police are continuing their investigation and assessing compensation for the incident. I note how they mentioned the car manufacturer just to kind of prove a point that these Germans had money.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's Germans and BMWs makes sense, but it's
BMW.
BMW, excuse me.
Say it after me. Bayerischer
Motorenwerker.
There we go.
That was actually surprisingly pleasant. But anyways, BMW's obviously bad rep when it comes to their drivers. Not really helped in this situation. He's a young guy, 24 years old. Looked like he was doing some stunt driving. That's pretty speaking of John Wick, it looked straight out of that movie. Fortunately, he's okay. Along with his passenger, nobody seriously, gravely injured. Yeah, the folly of youth.
Yeah.
It seems to be the case here, and yeah, I hope he had good insurance because it's not just his car that was damaged, but also a lot of other people's stuff too. All right. Well, anyways, I gotta get my serious face on for this next one because this is an update about a crazy story we were reporting on last week that involved a German man that was just menacing dentists for
I remember.
about a decade. Well, apparently this German man who attacked the dentist was found dead under mysterious circumstances. So a 41-year-old German man known as Mr. Matthias, who had recently attacked dentists and made threats in Korat, was found dead at his home in Nonsung, Nakhon Ratchasima on March 21st. He had a large neck wound, and police are investigating whether it was self-inflicted or foul play. His erratic behavior since November 2024 included assaults on female dentists and damaging clinics. He was recently granted bail after being charged with trespassing and assault. Police had planned to revoke his visa, but his death halted the proceedings. I imagine that would be the case. CCTV footage is being reviewed as the investigation continues. I mean, obviously this guy was not mentally sound. He was doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So the question of whether this was, the other question is too, he was let out on bail so many times. So is this a case of the community taking justice into their own hands? Is this a case of a very unstable man finally succumbing to dark thoughts? Unclear at this point. He does have a wife, a Thai wife, that has yet to weigh in on this. But in any case, at least the dentist can rest a little more easy now, but still never good news to report any kind of very suspicious death. And I'm curious to know what actually happened here.
Well, for now, it's only speculation, but we'll keep you up to date with any new investigative information. For now, we'll move on to our next story where a Thai minister demands more mall security after MBK brawl. Who doesn't love a brawl in a secondhand market? Now, following a violent brawl between rival students at Bangkok's MBK Center on March the 23rd, Higher Education Minister Suphamas has urged tighter security at malls and better monitoring of students with known rivalries. The clash involving students from Ratchamangala University of Technology's Uthon Thawai campus and Pathumwan Institute of Technology left 5 injured, 2 critically. 4 students were arrested after the fight broke out on the 6th floor at the food court. The minister condemned the violence and pledged serious, lasting solutions while police plan to enhance mall security and weapons checks to prevent future incidents. There we go. Yeah, MBK, famous for, I guess, fake products, but also technology. Now famous for brawls in the food court?
Pretty horrifying stuff. As you can see, we had to censor that footage because there was some serious damage being done.
Yeah.
Like people were curb stomping, they were stomping on heads, soccer kicks to downed opponents and things like that. So when it comes to these brawls, man, mob mentality takes over and they are turning into animals, man. And I don't get what this is with we had school rivalries back where I come from. We settled it on the football field, right? There were other ways to do it. We didn't really break out into violence too often. Yeah. Maybe because you never know who's packing heat in America. But yeah, this is a big issue that continues to plague seems to be shopping malls, public transport. It happens all over the place.
It's a lot more it's a lot more common than people think, especially with the Thai technology engineering colleges. I mean, there have been plenty of movies even been made about it, like famous ones, and you can find it on Netflix called Four Kings 2, because Four Kings 1 wasn't enough. But it's actually quite common, and they take it quite seriously. But I don't think an official, I think from an official coming out and saying that have more mall security is not going to help that situation. Yeah. And from of all the things that the security is looking out for, wearing a school uniform, not letting them in, and also there's multiple entrances to MBK. That's not a good enough solution. There probably is a solution there. These things don't happen as often in a mall like MBK, but. Surely there's better than just security do a better job or have more security. Yeah, and that'll fix the problem.
I also love whenever you go into a shopping mall, you pass through a metal detector that is absolutely meaningless. Just go ahead. Nobody cares. I don't know. It seems like a cultural thing that needs to be addressed at the school itself. What's that?
Mojo says, make a nice design Tiger logo and I will have it tattooed.
Oh yeah, we have it's the T, baby.
Accepted, Mojo. No, we'll make a Tiger one.
Something
It feels
special.
like
All right.
Throat. All right.
On to our next story, which is a pretty harrowing tale. Now, allegations, of course, but it sounds pretty messed up, I'll tell you that. A British tourist is claiming abuse in a Thai jail and said he was forced to drink urine.
Oh.
Ew. British tourist Lewis Green, just 22 years old, claims he was drugged, beaten, and starved while jailed in Hua Hin, Thailand, during his solo trip. Arrested after a dispute at a cannabis dispensary, Green says he was shackled, forced to drink urine, and denied food, suffering fractured ribs and a broken wrist. He alleges he was spiked with DMT and falsely accused of car theft. His release came only after paying nearly 7,000 pounds in fines, or about 200,000 baht, in compensation. Now recovering in the UK, Green has launched a GoFundMe and warns others of the risks foreign tourists can face in Thailand.
Yeah. You know what? Mr. Green probably found out the hard way, in a sense where I'm 50-50 on the, whether to trust what actually happened. Obviously, there's his side, there's another side, but these things happen a lot more than you think. Thai prisons are a tough place.
Oh, yeah.
Like, being forced to drink urine doesn't shock me.
Yeah.
Like, whether it was someone in the prison or, inhumane things that are being done at prisons, he might not be far off. And this might all be possibly true.
Yeah, there were definitely signs of physical abuse. He was reviewed by doctors back in the UK to say, like, okay, he was definitely beat up. So, yeah, that's not great. He denies the allegations. Like when they told him he stole a car, he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Like guys, Thailand is a very safe country, but that doesn't mean you don't have to be vigilant with who you're hanging out with, what kind of people you're hanging out with, or like, they're cool, they give me free drugs all the time, or whatever it is. Like, guys, be vigilant. Like, come here for tourist reasons. I don't know how he got involved in all of this, but. Like, he's got a GoFundMe, he's probably recovering and is living a better life, probably has remorse for whatever past actions that might have led to this. But all the best to him, is what I'm going to say. But coming tourists, be vigilant, guys.
I don't know. I still have my suspicions, like, I have to say, that there's more to this story than
there always is
being led on, because there could have been some bad behavior on his part that led to this stuff. I don't know who would waste their DMT on somebody else. That's it's not a typical drug that you find lying around and stuff. So, anyways...
I did not willingly take this
to the bottom of it. Yeah.
We're going to move on to our last story, which is regarding a bag frenzy turns violent at Bangkok Mall. Brand halts sales. Yeah. Would you fight over a bag? Because a chaotic rush for Merge's limited edition A Day Bag outside Central Westgate Mall in Nonthaburi led to violence, drawing heavy criticism online. Some people in line were reportedly paid to hold spots for resellers. A video of the scuffle went viral, sparking debate over poor crowd management and outdated sales methods. In response, Thai brand Merge has suspended sales of the 2,490 baht bag indefinitely, citing safety concerns and expressing regret over the incident. Netizens called for better sales systems and questioned the department store's security preparedness. How do you prepare for security risks such as this?
Oh, no. Some serious
definitely
Black Friday vibes.
The marketing campaigns kind of work. Yeah, but they thought, not in Thailand. People are quite polite here. They're not gonna beat each other up.
You thought wrong, man.
2,500 baht bag.
Apparently, it's in high demand. And I don't know. There's a balance between meeting market demand and keeping that exclusivity so that people still want it and desire it. But then the real scumbag part of this are the resellers, right? Like people that are just paying. Scalpers basically for concert tickets. It's the same thing that's going on here. We buy it now and then jack up the price to sell it to whoever the next highest bidder is. Those people ruin the fun, I think. So I want to call them out for having a hand in this. And
call them out, Alex.
I mean, that's the other thing, too, is that maybe the fights are starting because these people see a profit to be made, and the money is a terrible motivator. And that's
call
keeping
them out.
People from getting it at the
Listen
right
price. Listen up, all you resellers out there in Bangkok, Thailand. Alexander Latour will not stand for it, and he will be out on the streets, so you better watch out for him.
Dispensing justice. No, I'm not.
Once again, Alexander Latour, found in the Asok area.
Can you stop? You're putting a target on my back. Jesus Christ. Oh, wait, I have one correction.
What happened?
Sorry, guys. So last week we did a story about a Belgian man who was in a fight with 3 or 4 Indian men.
Yes.
And we had claimed that the Indian men had started the fight. There was an update. People commented and sent me this video over the weekend to give me an update on this. Tan, would you mind running the updated footage for me really quickly so we can take a look at that? Yeah, apparently there's more to the story. So what we had seen before was just after the fight had already started. Here you can sort of see the Indian guys, they're just trying to walk around him and walk away. And yeah, Belgian guy throws the first fist. So not, he was being interviewed like he was a hero the whole time. It certainly appears that he is now being seen as the instigator. So I did want to give an update on that. There's still they did end amicably. It's one thing, sticks and stones break my bones, but this MMA fighter's fists can really hurt you. In any case, the police got involved. There are no charges being pressed. But yeah, it does shed some new light on the situation. Maybe this wasn't exactly the heroic story that we had initially reported it as. Yeah, once again, just don't fight. I don't know how else to say it.
Sure.
Just don't fight. But now I can understand these Indian guys trying to, just defend themselves in this situation rather than having been instigators of the violence. So yeah. Anyways. Just a quick update for you. Anyways, shall we take a little break to get a word from our sponsor before we head into the ASEAN Now section?
Yes, please, Alex. I need a break.
Okay. Give me a break with that EC market. Okay, cool.
We could do that better.
Go for it, Tan.
Oh, bravissimo.
And we're back. Okay. All right. Thank you, EC Marcus, for supporting the channel and allowing us to do whatever this is.
Spectacular. Spectacular ad.
All right. Anyways, let's move on. Guys, that'll do it for our Thailand section of the news. We are now heading on to the greater ASEAN region. And our first stop is Cambodia. Japan is pledging $11 million for Cambodia Demining and Peace Museum. So Japan has pledged about 1.466 billion yen, approximately 11 million USD, to Cambodia, supporting demining efforts and the creation of the Techo Peace Museum. Signed on March 20th, 2025, the agreement includes over 8.4 million USD for upgrading the Cambodian Mine Action Center's equipment and training, and over 2 million USD for for building a landmine-shaped museum in Siem Reap. The museum, due in 3 years, will educate visitors on the horrors of landmines and promote peace. The grant reflects Japan's continued commitment to Cambodia's post-conflict recovery and regional peace building. Obviously, landmines are one of the biggest issues that still plague much of the developing world, where war has happened, the mines have been placed down, nobody went back to pick them all up. So it takes a lot of effort to make sure that these, areas of the jungle, these rural areas are safe. People aren't stepping on them. That museum is going to be horrifying because you're going to see the long-lasting impact that it's had over decades since there was active hot conflict in the region. And also interesting to see Japan increasing its investments in Cambodia, as there's still big influence competition, I guess, between countries like China, Japan, the US in Cambodia, and them seeming to walk the tightrope. But more money coming in, and interesting to see how much that'll buy them in terms of influence.
All right. For now, we're going to move on to the Philippines, as it adds buses, trains, amid transport strike. Amid. Transport strike in the Philippines. Well, amid an ongoing transport strike by Group Manibela, the Philippine government is deploying more buses and trains to ease commuter disruption. The strike, which began early on March the 21st and will run until 26th, protests alleged data falsification in the public transport modernization program. Additional transport services will operate on the EDSA busway and LRT lines 1 and 2 with free bus rides offered by the MMDA, not to be confused with MDMA.
Oh, God.
The government urges dialogue, hoping to resolve grievances without further commuter hardship.
I knew you were going to go for that joke.
It was right there.
It is. It was. I can't blame you for it. But yeah, this is an ongoing thing in the Philippines. Big protests going on. No strangers to protests, the Filipinos. It's a big part of the culture over there when there are public grievances. But will these solutions be enough? Like, these strikes are set to be going on until the 26th. Will they be extended? That's the big question right now, as the government is trying to alleviate some of the concerns that the protesters have.
Yeah.
Unclear whether it will be enough.
We'll find out.
Mo just saying about the last story, you can thank Kissinger and friends. Yeah, nobody's a big fan of Kissinger anymore, or I doubt anybody ever was. But yeah, lovely stuff, American foreign policy.
Okay.
Moving on. We are, speaking of American foreign policy, we're going to Vietnam. But this time, it's not an American in trouble. It is a Russian who has been sentenced to 18 years in prison for killing his compatriot in the country. A Vietnamese court has sentenced Russian national Roman Nikiforov, 41 years old, to 18 years in prison for murdering fellow Russian Vasily Yuchsin, 45 years old, after a housing dispute in Pantiet City. The conflict erupted in January 2024 when Yuchsin, upset over Nikiforov's decision to rent a place alone, allegedly attempted to assault him. Nikiforov killed Yuchsin with a hammer. Jesus Christ. Hid the body in a field and cleaned the crime scene. Locals discovered the body 2 days later, leading to Nikiforov's arrest. He confessed during the trial and requested leniency. With the hammer. My God, that is a horrifying way to go over what is seeming like a really menial, trivial dispute.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I guess he entered a guilty plea. He confessed to the crime, so I guess that's why they're going with some leniency. But 18 years, that doesn't seem like enough for a very hot-blooded murder. I mean, potentially maybe it wasn't premeditated. Maybe the details of the case were that he was attacked first, is what I was reading. But yeah, in any case, don't fly off the handle.
Don't do it.
This is definitely not worth it. One life gone, one life ruined. Nobody happy. So yeah, talk it out, everybody.
Talk it out, guys. All right. We're going to move on to our last story from around the area, where U.S. charges 5 Malaysians and $214 million pump and dump scheme. Don't pump and dump. 5 Malaysians and 2 Taiwanese nationals have been charged in the U.S. for allegedly running a $214 million pump and dump stock fraud scheme. The group is accused of manipulating shares of China Liberal Education Holdings by promoting false information and profiting from inflated prices. Victims were deceived by individuals posing as U.S.-based investment advisors. The accused are not in custody and arrest warrants have been issued. U.S. authorities have seized the alleged profits, and if convicted, the suspects face up to 25 years per securities fraud charge and 20 years per wire fraud charge. So, in a world of trouble.
Yeah, look at that. In this story, more prison time for the fraud than it was for the murder in the last one. But yeah, I mean, this is like life-ruining stuff, right? Like, that's a whole lot of money. And yeah, who knows how many people got scammed. The profits have been seized, but the perpetrators are still out there in the wild somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unclear if justice will ever be served properly. I imagine if I was wanted in the U.S. and facing up to 25 years in prison, I would not go back to the U.S. So.
True.
Yeah, anyways, just be careful out there, guys. You know, we talk about EC markets, our friends here. There are all sorts of crazy schemes out there where people are pumping and dumping. And by the way, pump and dump means to rapidly inflate the price of an asset in order to sell it very quickly. If you hold a lot of it, to let you know, this happened with the Trump coin, the Melania coin. What else has it happened with? Elon likes to do it with Dogecoin. These pump and dumps can happen all over the place, man. There are people running scams constantly. Even
Scams?
I mean, this was it's been a big issue for cryptocurrencies
Did you
in
hear
particular.
about the Libra coin?
No. What happened?
The Libra coin, and I believe it was the Argentinian government. Huge pump and dump. President was involved.
Oh yeah, Haktua. Let's not forget her too.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, and I think a lot of people don't understand what they're doing with it, right? Like they're famous. They put their name on it, not really understanding the motivations behind the people who are actually setting up these coins.
Yeah,
and
but that's at least the Haktua girl. I mean, the Libra coin, for example, it was the president of the country.
Oh yeah.
Promoting a coin, and then there was a big pump and
Which
dump.
country? Argentina. Oh yeah. Oh yes, Malay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I heard about this one too.
You know, something similar could happen in the U.S.
It has happened. What are you talking? Just like
Not ex- yeah, I mean at there were some people from this office that bought Trump coin.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you bought it right away, you probably made a little profit on it. But like, yeah.
Someone
a lot
bought
of
it at
people have told me.
$50. They're thinking that it'll go up to 100, but yeah, it's currently, I think it's $17, if I'm not right.
Oh, yeah.
17 or less. Should be 16, 15.
Let's see. $10.
$10?
Yeah.
Time to buy.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, good luck. Invest at your own risk, as we
Don't
said here
buy
before.
Trump. Look at that. Bamp and dump, baby.
There you go. All right.
Not as big of a dump, but technically. Anyways, once again, we are not financial advisors. You should not be listening to any of our advice of finance or anything, really.
All right.
And if you would like to join in the conversation on any of these stories, please visit
ASEANnow.com.
That's Thailand's largest forum. And that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the Thaiger here on YouTube. Also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X. You'll see a bunch of content that you wouldn't normally see here on the main page. And for now, let's get into the comments, see what people are talking about. Shall we, Jay?
Yeah.
All right, cool.